Well, NewsNation's Joe Khalil live for us there on Capitol Hill with more. Joe, the back and forth continues.
Yeah, Nichole, on day number 2, we're already into the sort of messaging and blame game war. We've already heard from Republicans this morning, as you just heard there, Speaker Johnson and his leadership team addressing the media and some questions today. He spent a significant portion of that time trying to back up the claims Republicans have been making that Democrats' bill to reopen the government actually gives health care, free health care, to people in the country illegally. It's a claim that Democrats fully deny. They've called that a bald-faced lie. They also spent some time today talking about how trying to remind the public that the Republican version of a bill to reopen the government doesn't have any add-ons. We heard that again and again this morning, that their bill is, as they call it, a clean CR, which means they just want to keep the government open at its current spending levels for 7 more weeks, nothing else tacked onto their bill, which is true. We're also seeing the consequences of a shutdown come more into the forefront here. You talk about potentially federal programs being shuttered and federal workers being laid off. Obviously, those things are going to start to have a real impact very soon here. This is what President Trump said on Truth Social this morning. He says, quote, "I have a meeting today with Russ Vought, who's the Office of Management Budget Director," and President Trump says here, of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut, and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. He says, "I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity." So we expect, because the president is saying it, that federal workers are going to be laid off, some permanently. And Nichole, today I actually asked Speaker Johnson, he himself has been putting out polling numbers that would suggest the American public is on the Republican side of this shutdown. But I asked him, if this happens, where you have potentially tens of thousands of federal workers all over the country losing their jobs, being fired, do Republicans risk losing support from the public over that? This is what Speaker Johnson told me in response to that question.
No, I mean, look, the reason that we're talking with you so plainly today is to explain to every single American citizen why this is happening. How in the world could they blame the people here who have done our job and sent over a clean CR to keep the lights on? There is no gimmick. People say, why aren't you negotiating with Schumer and Jeffries? Because I quite literally have nothing to negotiate. There's nothing I can pull out of the bill that was a Republican priority to say, oh, we won't do that. Why don't you guys vote for it now? I don't have anything. I didn't put anything in it to send it over. I'm stunned. I'm stunned that they have decided to shut the government down and hurt people. It is on them 100%.
Democrats would argue that what they are fighting for right now is health care for Americans, people who already have health care. Their premiums could potentially go up by hundreds of dollars a month, Democrats say, if the subsidies that many Americans rely on run out, which is going to happen at the end of the year if Congress does not act relatively soon. Democrats say this is a moral issue for them, one that they're not going to back down from. This is Senator Blumenthal, one of many who spoke to us yesterday on camera about why they feel this fight is worth having now.
And obviously, we're standing strong. We're fighting literally to save health care for millions of people in Connecticut and around the country who right now are receiving notices about their insurance under open enrollment. They have to make decisions about whether they can afford that insurance.
So we are guaranteed to continue with a shutdown throughout the day today because the Congress is not in session. The House and Senate, they are both gone for the Jewish holidays. So tomorrow, the Senate is back in session. We expect votes again, but pending some kind of major breakthrough, the expectation is that these bills are not going to pass tomorrow. This is sort of a pressure tactic from Republicans to keep having these votes after votes after votes to see if they can change any Democrats' minds on their version of a bill to reopen the government, Nichole.
All right. Joe Khalil live there on Capitol Hill. Joe, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.